Good morning, fellow educators. In the symphony of teaching, where each day presents its own melody, or sometimes chaos, maintaining composure is the key as we guide our students with clarity. From the battles of Braveheart to the calm of Gordon Cooper's flight, let us explore the art of keeping our cool shining bright. So, today we are going to talk about something that a lot of teachers have problems with: how to keep your cool. Hmm. In my opinion, among the traits that makes a great teacher, enthusiasm is near the top. Your passion for delivering captivating lessons and activities to your students largely determines your success in motivating students. In our world, we're all attracted to people who live their lives with zeal, and students are no different. One of my favorite movies is Braveheart, which tells the story of William Wallace, a 13th century knight who fought for the resistance in the Scottish Wars of Independence. His rousing speech to his fellow freedom fighters tingles the spines. Although, as teachers, we don't need to bring this level of intensity to our classrooms, there are times that call for us to rely our troops and remind them the importance of their daily task. Motivational speeches, to be sure, can be a well-needed shot in the arm. But when it comes to classroom management, in my opinion, I feel like it's better to be more like Gordon Cooper than William Wallace. You're probably wondering, who is Gordon Cooper? Gordon Cooper was one of the original 7 Mercury astronauts, and he gave new meaning to the phrase cool as a cucumber. Let me tell you a little bit about his story. On the morning of May 15th, 1963, Cooper squeezed into a tiny capsule about the size of an old Volkswagen bug, perched 10 stories off the ground. Beneath him was 255,000-pound Atlas rocket, which was little more than a reconfigured ballistic missile. The most amazing thing happened. While waiting for lunch and listening to the rumbling of the rocket beneath him, Cooper did something remarkable. He fell asleep. While most of his fellow astronauts vetted for being calm under the most trying conditions, they were sweating under the pressure suits and failing to keep their heart rates under control. Cooper himself had to be awakened during the countdown. So think of sitting on a roller coaster as it clicks upward to the top of the first breakthrough drop, and then multiply that nervous anticipation by 1,000. But Cooper's cool headedness saved his life later in the flight when major mechanical problems disabled his navigational instruments and forced him to make manual calculations to avoid burning up in Earth's atmosphere. Using the stars as his guide and sketching on a small window, Cooper guided his craft to a near perfect splashdown. Although we'll more than likely never have to face a circumstance as daunting as being launched into space, classroom management poses its own unique challenges. Students disrupt class, rules are repeatedly broken, incidents happen, and we have to be able to remain calm and clear headed to resolve them effectively. I realize that sometimes this can be a challenge to put into practice. So I compiled a short list of strategies to help you stay cool when students raise your level of coolness. Number one, if you put a classroom management in place, trust it. Trust your classroom management and call them on it. That is the reason why I stated in previous podcasts that it is very important that students are part of creating the rules in the classroom. Since you didn't make it, just call them on it and just quietly reflect. I'm sorry, rule number one is not being used, so why don't we go back and let us go back and read the rule again? Did we all agree on this rule? Yes, we did. Okay, can we just follow it, please? Thank you. Number two, rather than using willpower to stay in a peaceful state, think of handling behavior and classroom management issues with cold detachment. When a student breaks a rule, enforce it with the same matter of fact way a mail carrier might deliver your mail. Number three, consider being just like Annika Sorenstam. Erica is the winner of 72 LPGA events. She's personable and outgoing off the course. But on the course, it is another story. Showing little emotion even after a bad shot, Annika crushes her competition with a peaceful smile on her face. She has long been called machine like and robotic, but this is the most effective mental state for golf, as well as classroom management. Number three. Number four, act like a firefighter. Firefighters are quiet and appear to walk casually when arriving on a chaotic scene. This often surprises bystanders. They expect them to rush to the aid of the injured, yelling excitedly into their walkie talkies like they do on television. But what they're doing is purposefully staying calm so that they can think clearly and make correct decisions. If their adrenaline is pumping, then they will know that they might make costly mistakes. So that's the reason why they're always calm under pressure. Another thing that I always do, I always pretend that my students' parents are standing right behind the students as I speak to them when they're misbehaving. I usually think about like if a camera is on me right now, broadcasting my every move on my students' home and throughout the school, is that the way that I want them to see me? So with that picture in mind, I always remind myself, stay calm under pressure, even when the students make you crazy. Handling classroom management without getting worked up or feeling angry or stressed is a great benefit for you and your students. So remember that it is not easy to stay calm. So stand firm in your resolve, knowing that within each breath we take, remember that as educators, we wave the path to a brighter tomorrow, or where peace, respect, and understanding can reign supreme with the approaches that we take every day. Thank you for listening. And remember to continue to take great care of yourself. Continue to be the awesome educator that you are.